Manu was clarifying all your doubts. Okay, it's fantastic. Okay, so we'll just get started. Yes, like Sri Krishna is reminding me about the Dead Sea. Yeah, I will do with that. I'll start with that only. So, in the previous classes, so I think I might have shown you about objects that are floating on the Dead Sea, and Dead Sea, like is having lot of salts dissolved in it, and its density is more, and all the reasons for why things or objects float on Dead Sea. Okay, so now we'll see a little bit in detail about Dead Sea, like why is that happening in Dead Sea? Why not in our Arabian Sea, yeah, Bay of Bengal or Indian Ocean? What is so special about Dead Sea? So we're gonna watch this video, and we'll see why is that name kept as Dead Sea. Okay, why not floating sea? Because everybody floats there. They could have kept as floating sea, but instead, so they have kept as Dead Sea. So let us see the reason for that, and then we'll continue the class. Okay, cool. So I'm going to share my screen, and after that, we're going to start from where we left the other day. Okay, cool. So watch this video carefully. So there are some terms used. If you did not understand any of the terms, just let me know.
Located between the countries of Jordan and Israel is a lake with an ominous-sounding name, the Dead Sea. Of course, the name isn't because the lake is haunted or because of anything scary, really. It's because nothing can live in it. No fish or seaweed or plants. And that's because the Dead Sea is much too salty. As a matter of fact, it's 9 times as salty as the ocean. The only thing that can...
So as you saw, that was the main reason. Okay, so for the name kept it as Dead Sea. So it's basically because of the geographical location. So where it is located between Israel and Jordan. Okay, so where it is bounded by land everywhere, such that the water is just trapped over there. Okay, and that is why it has a like very special quality. Okay, so that you can never die in Dead Sea. Okay, so you'll just float and keep floating. Okay, and there's some amazing pics. Okay, so that are captured in Dead Sea. Okay, so you're gonna have a great time if you visit this Dead Sea. Okay, after coronavirus, of course. Okay, fine. So Kuresh is asking, how did the salt come in the first place? Okay, so now as you saw in the video, okay, so the water, so that is been there, okay, so connected to the Dead Sea, all the salt that is been brought over there, the water gets evaporated. Okay, and once the water gets evaporated, so all that is remaining is just the salt. And you see, as you saw in the video also, there's nothing that is outlet. Okay, so that means no other river, stream, or any water body is taking the water from the Dead Sea. Okay, so everybody is coming and dumping into the Dead Sea, but nobody's taking it out from the Dead Sea. Okay, and over the time, the only thing that can happen is evaporation. And today we will see evaporation. Okay, so that is the reason. So why I wanted to start the topic with this video, so that I can link it with evaporation. Okay, and evaporation is a very, very slow process. Fine. So let us see what happens in evaporation. Okay, and all that. So I'll first quickly revise what we did in the previous class. Okay, so that you do not forget whatever happened. So we'll have one Kahoot quiz also later, and then we'll continue. No, we were doing 9th standard. Yeah, this. Okay, so yes, a quick conclusion to the topic. So in this topic that we were studying, what all things that is important for you is, first, you should know the effect of temperature. Where is it? Temperature. You should know the effect of temperature and the effect of pressure on the interconversion of states of matter. So I'm just going to conclude the topic with some 2-3 statements such that you know the summary of the topic, of the, not the lesson, of the topic. Okay, so what effect does temperature have on interconversion of states of matter, and what effect that pressure has on the interconversion of state of matter? Okay, so that we can conclude this and then start today's topic, so that is evaporation. So in the end, so I'm just gonna write the note over here. So first, regarding temperature, the effect of temperature: if we increase the temperature, the kinetic energy, so please do not use any short forms. Kinetic energy as KE and all, don't write full form. Okay, so in the exam you may lose marks if you write short forms. Okay, so see, I am also not writing short forms. Full form you write. If we increase the temperature, the kinetic energy of the particles increases and they can move freely. So if you keep on increasing, okay, so then you can convert from solid to liquid to gas. Okay, so I had already done this diagram, but again I'm showing. If you put heat, if you supply heat to the solid, so then you can get it converted to liquid. Again, if you apply heat to the liquid, you can get it converted into gas. Okay, so this is basically what happens. Next, the effect of pressure. If we increase the pressure, okay, so or I'm just going to write here one more thing, or compress, okay, then the particles come closer. So in this diagram also I had shown over here, if you see, if you put more pressure or if you compress to such an extent, okay, that the particles will come closer to each other and they'll become compact, okay, or tightly packed. And become compact. Okay, so but individually, both of them would not change the state of matter as such. Together, it is important. Okay, together, temperature and pressure together can lead to interconversion of state of matter. Okay, so because single-handedly alone, it cannot happen. So here we are assuming it to be at the atmospheric pressure. Okay, so that is the pressure exerted by our atmosphere. So I had written the statement also last class. Okay, so together what happens is important for us. Okay, so what is that together? So the effect of temperature and pressure will result in change of state of matter. Okay, together. Okay, I will write here together. Okay, not individually, separate. The effect of both, I'm going to write here one more word, temperature and pressure together will result in this change of state of matter. Okay, so these things you just keep in mind. This is the major conclusion of the topic. Okay, so pressure and temperature together can result in the change of state of matter. Okay, so that is one thing that you should be aware. And there's also one interesting scenario given in your textbook regarding sublimation, or a particular example of dry ice. Okay, so what is that example? Solid carbon dioxide directly gets converted to gas, and vice versa, without getting converted into liquid state. Okay, so basically sublimation is happening. So that is direct conversion of solid to gas. Okay, so without getting converted into liquid state, it will basically skip, okay, jump the liquid state. Now the question is why? Why is it not getting converted into liquid state? What is wrong with this carbon dioxide? Okay, so how is this possible, or what is the reason for this? So let us watch this video of dry ice and come back to our topic. Okay, so if you understood till here, so you can please click on the S icon. If you understood the entire summary of the topic, okay, this sublimation of dry ice, it is just a special case. Okay, so it was there in your textbook also. So whatever is there in the textbook, you must know. Okay, so that is why. So I'm just giving that case study or a special example, and we're going to see the reason also. So what is happening, why? Okay, so remember this sublimation, and also I had given all this interconversion of states of matter. Do not forget. Okay, so this is the soul of the topic, how matter can get converted from one form to another. What is the name given to that? Okay, fine. So remember this. Now we're going to quickly see the sublimation of this ice. Okay, sublimation of this ice or dry ice. Okay, that is solid form of carbon dioxide.
Now to imagine.
And in this short video, sir had explained, okay, he explained basically all the things, okay, that can be explained in simple terms. Okay, cool. So I'll just add on to few points. Okay, so what sir was telling over there. So as you can see, it's all the game of pressure and temperature. Okay, you can definitely get the liquid form of carbon dioxide in the form of fire extinguishers. Okay, so as he was showing there in the photo, so all of you might have seen this fire extinguishers in your schools, yeah, hospitals or something, these fire extinguisher gases. Okay, so if you see here in this, they have liquefied the carbon dioxide and they have put it like this. Okay, and inside there's a different process of how carbon dioxide is produced and all that. So there's a different technology. Okay, so they have all this sodium carbonate and all. Okay, so that let's keep it for other day. Okay, so fine. So basically you see this fire extinguisher, and it also has carbon dioxide, and he shown in the video also that carbon dioxide, so when you add it to the water, okay, so it has the potential to form carbonic acid. Okay, and if you just simply take this solid form of CO2, you call that as dry ice because it resembles, okay, it resembles dry. Remember the word resembles. Okay, solid CO2 resembles ice. So hence they have just kept the name as dry ice. Okay, so you people are amazing. You will definitely forget. I'm going to write it. Okay, the solid form of CO2 is called as dry ice, as it resembles ice. I use the word resemble. I did not mean that it is ice. I never said that. I said it resembles, means it looks like. Okay, it looks like. It seems to be similar to ice, but it is not ice either. It is just the name given, common name given for solid form of CO2. Okay, fine. So this was a special case of dry ice. Okay, and finally, you need to understand that liquefaction of gases, liquefaction of gases is where, as madam was also telling before I joined the class, you increase the pressure and you decrease the temperature. Okay, so this is what happens in liquefaction of gases. Okay, I have a small chota like way to remember. Okay, code to remember, because sometimes, okay, it will be ulta pulta. Sometimes you write a temperature up, pressure down. Sometimes you write both up, both down. Or in order not to get confused, okay, a small code to remember. So this is how I remember. Up. Okay, so you know up means upar, mele. Okay, in that I will put the sign for up. What is the sign for up? Is arrow mark, which is showing up. And next to the arrow mark, what is this alphabet P? That's all. Okay, increase in pressure. Increase in pressure. Okay, in order to liquefy the gases, you should always increase the pressure, and exactly opposite you should do for temperature. Okay, exactly opposite you should do for temperature. Okay, that is decrease the temperature. Okay, when you do both of them together, not separate, together, everything happens together simultaneously. Okay, you cannot achieve it in your home, yeah, my home and all. They will do it in the laboratories or factories and all that, where they have all the resources and everything. Okay, so they have all the technology, resources, materials, everything, and they will figure it out, and they will do it at a particular temperature scale, pressure scale, everything. Okay, don't take tension. You understand the logic sufficient. Okay, don't, sir, how can they do that, sir? Together how they will do, sir? They will do, man. They will do everything. They have all the resources. Okay, technology is there. What do you think? In factories, they do everything. Everything is possible. Okay, so this happens, and you get gases which are liquefied. Your LPG gas is in liquefied form. Oxygen cylinder in hospitals, liquefied form. All of these are liquefied gases. Okay, so with this idea, type www.kahoot.it. Okay, so we're gonna have a quiz based on this topic, and then I'll be starting evaporation. Okay, fast. So I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, it's my laptop screen. So you will see the code, you will see the game pin. Enter this game pin and join the quiz. Okay, fast. So I hope now you can see this number. So please enter this game pin and join. So this quiz is going to be slightly different from whatever you have attempted. Okay, so because I thought it just becomes monotonous if you just answer using options. Okay, so hence have done something different over here. So watch carefully. Look at the questions. You have to be super fast. And this quiz is little different. How it is different? Suspense. You will get to know. Okay, so please do not enter some random name. Okay, so enter your original name and join the game. Don't enter some random nickname of yours like Harry Potter, Superman, and all. Okay, so please enter your own name and join. Okay, so if I see any random names, I'm gonna delete it. Okay, you will not be allowed to play. So you want to join, write your name and join. Okay, fine. So on your screen, you will see the first question. Okay, so be fast and answer this first question. Okay, so read the question. How to convert the state of water at a given pressure. Pressure is fixed. Okay, so now what you can do at a given pressure to change the state of water. So basically atmospheric pressure. Okay, so very nice, very nice. So 45 of you have selected correct answer. So you got to change the temperature. Okay, fine. So next, Yash is leading. Question number 2. So you're going to see some picture. What does this picture indicate? Okay, what is this picture indicating? This picture is a special case that I just showed you the video of. Okay, last 5 seconds. And time up. Okay, so very good. 51 students got it correct. So this is the solid form of carbon dioxide, that is dry ice. Okay, so that was the picture of dry ice. Next question. So now Suhani is leading. Next question. The amount of heat required to change 1 kg of solid to liquid at the atmospheric pressure at its melting point is called as dash. Okay, so what is the term given to this statement? This is definition of something. What is that something? Okay, and time up. Okay, so nice. 43 students got it correct. So this is the definition of latent heat of fusion. Okay, cool. So now the last question, and this is the surprise. Okay, now Pranamya is leading. Okay, good. So last question. So be ready. No options. You have to type the answer. Okay, read the question. To liquefy gases, what should be done to the temperature? Okay, you should type the answer. Okay, no options for you. You type the answer. This is the surprise. Okay, I want to change the difficulty level. I don't want to make things easy. Okay, this time you will type the answer. What should you do to temperature to liquefy the gas? Okay, so I had told you also the last point I was discussing that. So last 5 seconds. And time up. Only 40 students were able to attempt it. You should be fast. Okay. And let us see the answer. What should be done to the temperature? Okay. Either you can decrease or reduce, one and the same thing. You should reduce or decrease the temperature, and you will increase the pressure such that you can liquefy the gases. Okay. Fine. So I just wanted to check that. So that is why this different type of question. You just wait and watch. We'll be having so many different types of questions. Okay. Just as a surprise element. Okay. Fine. So be ready to type your answer also. Don't simply choose A, B, C, D. You should type also next time onwards. Okay. Cool. This was just bacha. You wait. Next time onwards, no options for you. Why options? Okay. You should write the answer. Type the answer. Okay. Let us see the winner of today's quiz of interconversion of states of matter. So our third position, we have Sai. So second position is backed by Yash. And today's winner of this quiz is none other than Pranamya. Okay. So congratulations all three of you. Fourth position, Ishan. Fifth position, Sneha. So for all the top five, well done. Okay. So you were the quickest to answer all these questions correct. Okay. So fantastic. But others, do not worry. Keep trying. Keep trying. One day, even you will be in this top five, and I'll be happy for you. Okay. Fine. So now with this quiz, so we will go to the next topic. Okay, so I'll go to the next topic, and this is the video that I want to show you before I go to the next topic. Okay, so the next topic, the last topic of the chapter, that is evaporation. So let us see how evaporation is different from the boiling point or boiling and all those. Okay, so now I'm going to share my screen, and I'll show you something very exciting or different. And I'm pretty sure you might have not gone to this particular place, but still it is an interesting place. So what place am I talking about? So that is this place. Okay, so it is loading. 1 second. Okay, yes. And now on your screen, you will see this amazing place. This is related to our topic. So that is why I'm showing you this. And after this video, we will start evaporation. Okay. So watch this and then we'll continue. Okay. This is the famous Amazon's boiling river. Okay. So see the name. I'll be very happy if you can pronounce the name also. Okay, cool. So let's dive into Amazon and see this river, which is called as the boiling river. So that is something curious. If I only tell everything, what will you do? Okay, you should also use your brain. Okay, so get curious. Okay, find out things, figure out things on your own, and that makes you a good science student. Okay, you should have that ability to search for answers. Questions are there. There are a lot of questions surrounding you. Okay, but you should have a way or a thinking process to figure it out. Why is that river boiling? What makes that? Why is your Unka Lake not boiling in Hubli? Or why is Ganga not boiling? So why is that river boiling? Think. Okay, think. Start thinking. Maybe you will figure out the answer. Okay, if not, tomorrow I'll tell. Okay, what is there? So now, coming back to the topic. So here is the last topic of the chapter. Okay, so that is evaporation. So I'm going to take a new note. We'll write it here. Okay, so we'll be starting first with a definition of evaporation. So I hope all of you have learned evaporation. You have seen water cycle. Okay, so right from childhood, you have been hearing this term of evaporation. So we will see the technical or scientific definition of evaporation. So evaporation is the process of converting liquid into gas at a temperature below its boiling point. Okay, so this is the most important phrase. The process of conversion of liquid into gas, but at a temperature less than the boiling point. Okay, because we have seen at boiling point, liquid gets converted into gas. That is normal, obvious. But if the liquid is getting converted into gas at a temperature below its boiling point, you call that as below its boiling point, you call that as evaporation. Okay, so this is the definition, 1 mark. Okay, definition you should know. The process of converting liquid into gas at a temperature below its boiling point. Okay, fine. So now comes the important part, that is difference between evaporation and boiling. So I'm going to write here, this is for 1 mark. So I'll write here 1 mark question. So what is the next question? So this question is differentiate between evaporation and boiling. Okay, 2 mark question. Right here, 2 mark. So whenever they ask this differentiate between or write the differences between, stick to the table. Okay, that is the standard form of writing differences between question. What happens if you do not do? You will lose marks in 10th standard board exam, because your school teachers are not going to correct your paper, and who corrects your paper nobody knows. They will stick to the guidelines of CBSE, and CBSE clearly states that you should make a tabular column like this. Okay, and then only you should write the answer. Otherwise, no marks. Okay, later don't tell, sir, I expected 95%, sir, I got 85%. Then if you do not follow rules, this will only happen. Okay, so hence, make a table like this and write like this. Okay, so boiling, evaporate. No paragraphs, no stories. You should write in points. Always. This is science. This is not social science. No stories allowed. Stick to the point, write the points. So first, I will write all the points, and next I will explain. Okay, first I'll finish the points, and next I'll explain the meaning of all this. Okay, so boiling is a bulk phenomenon. So I'll just write properly. What is the meaning of bulk phenomenon? I'll explain later. So spelling of phenomenon, I'll just check. Okay. So surface phenomenon. Okay, so boiling is a bulk phenomenon, whereas evaporation is a surface phenomenon. And in boiling, bubbles are formed. In boiling, bubbles are formed. In evaporation, no bubbles are formed. Boiling happens at boiling temperature. It happens or takes place boiling point. Evaporation takes place below the boiling point. Happens at a temperature below the boiling point. Okay, good. Last point. It is a rapid process, means fast. Okay, it happens quick, fast. Whereas evaporation is a slow process. It happens damn slow, very, very slow. Okay, so these are the points for 2 marks. Of course, you are expected to write 2 points, but I have written all the points. Okay, so all the points I have written. Remember all the points in the exam. At least I hope you'll be able to remember 2 points. Okay, 2 points, 2 marks, but you remember all. So what is the differences between boiling and evaporation? So these are the difference between boiling and evaporation. So I'll tell you the easy method of remembering. Okay, so this is what I used to do. So because see, as a kid, I had the worst, like experience of remembering things. I cannot remember things. My memory is low. Okay, but I did not let my memory be my weakness. Never. Okay, so hence I used to form some codes which will help me remember things. Okay, just because I do not have memory skill doesn't mean that I should be a loser or something like that. Okay, so whatever weakness is there, you should be able to overcome your weakness. See, you know yourself better than me. You know what is your weakness. I know what is my weakness. But I overcame my weakness by doing some small tricks. Okay, hey, copy allapa tricks so that I can remember things easily. What is the trick? Watch carefully. So what is this? Boiling, B. What is this? B. What is this? Again B. And what is this? Again B. Okay. So boiling, bulk phenomena, boiling point, bubbles. Okay. That's all. So you see everywhere it is B, 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 B. Okay. And I can remember B. At least that much memory I have. Okay. Fine. So this is an easy way to remember things. You just remember for the boiling and write everything opposite for evaporation. That's all. So boiling, is a bulk phenomenon, and in boiling bubbles are formed. In boiling, it happens at boiling point. And this one extra thing you need to remember. Okay. So rapid process or fast to process. Okay. So Shiv Kumar, please wait. I told you now, when I'm explaining something, focus on what I'm telling. Okay, so your doubt after the class or end of the class, you can ask later. Okay, so you just focus on this thing or else you'll miss out on what I'm teaching. Okay, fine. So you please understand first the concept that I'm teaching, and any other doubts you have, you please wait. Okay, swalpa patience. Okay, fine. So this is the difference between boiling and evaporation. So if you understood this, click on the S icon. I will just explain all these terms with the help of a diagram. Okay, if you just understood the writing part and if you copied it down, if you noted it down, you please click on the yes. Okay, so till you write this, then let us see what is Shiv Kumar's doubt. So evaporation can take place in all temperatures. This is Shiva's doubt. Okay, so evaporation will happen at the temperatures below the boiling point of the substance. Okay, below the boiling point of the liquid substance. Okay, and again, other factors are involved. What are the factors which depend evaporation is our next topic. Okay, you please wait. Next topic, we will see what are the factors on which evaporation depends. Okay. So Amay asks, can evaporation take place in any liquids? So again, you wait for me to complete the topic. Okay. We just started evaporation, macha. Wait. Next, we will see the factors affecting evaporation, what substances can undergo evaporation, what will not. Everything we'll see. Wait. Okay, so that is what. See, other things. Okay, so Sandesh is asking which state is fire. See, not related to this topic, you can ask in the beginning of the class to Srinidhi ma'am or something. Related to boiling and evaporation, if you have, you please ask. Okay, let us not deviate from the topic. This is not doubt solving session. Okay, I want to stick to the topic, and the majority of the students, Papa, who do not understand the basic things. Let's not confuse everybody. Okay, you have such doubts. There is Avanti Gurukul app. Please type there. Okay, everything you'll get officially. So in order to answer your question, that is Sandesh, which state of matter is fire? Okay, so basically fire, we can put it in the state of ionized gas. Okay, because fire is not a solid, not at all a liquid. Okay, but it's a high energy ionized gaseous form. So we can put it in the ionized gas or plasma. Okay, put it in the category of plasma. Okay, and other things I'm not going to take, man. Okay, because you guys are just asking random things. Okay, so all those random things, before I come, now Srinidhi ma'am is there. 4 o'clock you come and ask all this. Sir, what is sun? Sir, how is energy coming from sun? Okay, all these crazy science doubts, ask later. Okay, now let's come back to the topic. I will explain first regarding this. So first thing, bulk phenomena. What is bulk phenomena? Let us start with that. Okay, so now observe this diagram carefully. So I'm going to make the diagram and explain the diagram. And another thing, wait for me to complete the topic first. Before completing the topic, only if you start asking how is that justified. I didn't even complete the topic. I'll finish full, then you have doubts, you ask. Okay, so first let me finish the topic. Okay, so this is a beaker. Have taken beaker, and these are the water molecules in the beaker. Okay, so just assume that, and here I have put fire. Okay, just assume fire. Okay, it's just a simple rough diagram for understanding purpose. Okay, exam, don't do this diagram. Okay, this is for understanding. I repeat, this is for understanding purpose only. And I'll put here burner. Okay, fine. So this is a beaker with those blue color are water molecules, and I am providing heat. Okay, fire, I'm giving fire, I'm heating this beaker with water. What will happen? This will happen. So I'm going to take this white coloring. The kinetic energy of particles of all particles. So I'm going to rub and write the kinetic energy of all particles will increase. Okay, because you are providing heat, you are supplying heat to the water. The water will get heated. As the water will get heated, as the water will get heated. Okay, that's all. So now all these water molecules or all these water particles will get kinetic energy and it will get heated. Okay, and the temperature at which it gets converted into gas, that temperature is our boiling point. Okay, fine. So now we haven't reached the boiling point yet. So we are just heating the substance. We are heating the liquid. Okay, so after some time, this is figure 1. I'm going to do here figure 2. I'll write here at boiling point. What will happen? Okay, so see this carefully. At boiling point, the same beaker which was now having water like this, and I was supplying heat with the help of the burner like this heat. Oh, sorry, red color I should use now. So I was supplying heat like this. So at the boiling point, watch carefully. What happens is that the water molecule, I'm going to take this white color so that you can observe carefully. I'm just taking any one. The water molecule or the water particle which was there, it will get converted into gas and it will come to the top in the form of a bubble. Okay, because this water particle got converted into gas. Okay, at boiling point, because of latent heat, all the particles, till it gets converted, the temperature will not change. We have learned this in the definition of latent heat of vaporization. Okay, so watch carefully. So I'm going to write here, bubble is formed. What is actually a bubble? This bubble is actually a gas. Okay, the water particle got converted into gas, but its other friends are still in the water state. Okay, other friends or other particles are still in the water state, but this water particle got energy and it got converted into bubble. Bubble is gas. Okay, and once it coming out, it will come out of the liquid in the gaseous state, and that will show you in the form of a bubble. Okay, that you can see or observe in the form of a bubble. I will repeat again. When you are heating and the temperature is the boiling point, that is, you reached 100 degrees Celsius. We are talking about water, not other liquid, not petrol or kerosene or something else. We are talking about water. So at 100 degrees Celsius, when the water particle got sufficient energy, it got converted into gas. Okay, and over here it will get converted into gas and it will come to the top of the liquid in the form of a bubble, and over here the bubble will burst and gas over. That's all. Okay, so this is how bubbles are formed in the liquid when it reaches boiling point. Okay, so if you understood, click on the yes icon. If you understood bubbles, how bubbles are formed, click on the yes icon. Okay, if you did not understand, I will write the sentence. At least you will understand this sentence. At the boiling point, the water particle gets converted into gas. Okay, at boiling point, not all, I said particular, some water particles gets converted, others will also get converted in some time. Okay, so the water particle gets converted into gas. It will travel to the surface of the liquid in the form of a bubble. That's all. As I've shown here in the white color, from the bottom till the top, it should somehow come out. No, how will it come out? In the form of a bubble. That's all. Okay, in the form of a bubble, it comes out of the liquid, and eventually at the surface, the bubble will burst and water vapor is formed. Okay, and this is your water vapor now. Over. Okay, it got escaped, and hence this is how your bubbles eventually became your water vapor. Okay, so this is how bubbles are formed. That is our second point. Okay, that is our second point. In evaporation, no bubbles, nothing as such. Okay. Now, why? Why in evaporation, no bubbles or something? Again, I'm going to explain that with the help of a diagram. So in evaporation, it is a surface phenomenon because if I take a beaker and these are my water particles. Okay, so I'm just going to rub and do it neatly. This is my beaker, and assuming these are my water particles. So now it is called as a surface phenomena. As the name indicates, suppose here I have the sun. Okay, just assume sun is there, it's a bright sunny day. So the energy is received only at the top. These bottom water particles do not receive the energy because only the top layer or the surface water molecules are exposed to the sunlight. Only they will receive the energy. Okay, and only they will get evaporated. Aste. Okay, those who are inside, who are in the deep layers inside liquid, they don't get energy, so they don't get evaporated. That's why. Okay, slowly all the top layers will get evaporated, and finally the bottom layer of the liquid will also get evaporated eventually, and it is a very slow process. So I'm going to write here, only the top surface layer of water particles receives energy and hence get evaporated. Aste. That's all. Only the top layer of the water particles receives energy, and only the top layer will get evaporated. And next, the second top layer will get evaporated, and next the third and fourth, fifth, and so on. Okay. So hence, it becomes a slow process. Hence, it is a slow process. Okay. But then why do we call boiling as a fast process or a bulk phenomena? Because all particles, I'm going to write here, all particles or the entire bulk gets energy. Okay, there is no discrimination over here. In boiling, it is called as bulk phenomenon because all the particles receives energy, and all of them can get converted into gas. But here, all of them are not getting energy. Only the top people or the top surface layer is exposed to the sunlight or whatever factor is there. Only they are receiving energy and they will get evaporated. Okay. If you understood this, click on the yes icon. If you did not understand, click on the no icon, but at least write it down. Okay. So take a screenshot, write it down, read it 2-3 times. It's just basic, simple, like common sense type question. So I'm just going to end today's class with this one photo, which might at least help you in understanding evaporation. What is the photo? Fantastic photo. All of us have seen this in our roads. Whenever it rains, all these potholes on the roads will get filled by water. But after the rainy day, the next day morning, when it is sunny, all this water will get evaporated on its own. Nobody is coming and taking the water and putting it outside, or nobody is doing anything. Okay, the water gets evaporated on its own. Okay, this is a very simple example of evaporation being a surface phenomena. Okay, all the water will not get evaporated at a time. Only the top layer will get evaporated, and next to the second top, next to the third top, and finally the entire liquid will get evaporated slowly. Okay, hence evaporation is a slow process. Fine. So with that, I'm going to end today's class. Okay, so thank you so much. So we'll meet tomorrow. I'm going to put one small homework today in the group. So please solve that. Okay, fine. So you please take a photo of all this. Okay, so how it is a bulk phenomena and all that. Exam, they will not ask. What will they ask in the exam? Only this. Differentiate between evaporation and boiling. Aste. Don't do any overaction. They will not ask. Okay, they'll just ask only this question or this question. And they can ask one more question. That is the factors on which evaporation depends. That is our tomorrow's topic. Okay, once I complete all that, then you can ask whatever doubts you have. Before completing the topic, do not put burden on yourself. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna give the class to Mohit sir. Okay, so sir will continue. So thank you so much. So take a photo of this, and we're gonna continue from here tomorrow. So remember our curious video. Shanai Tim Pishka. Shanai Tim Pishka. Boiling river. Amazon's boiling river. You figure it out why it is boiling, or else tomorrow I'll only tell. Okay, fine. So with that, we'll end today's class. So thank you so much. So on your poll, on your screen, I will just launch this poll. So you can just click on yes or no if you like the class or not. And any other doubts you have, tomorrow 4 o'clock, yeah, 4:15 when Srinidhi ma'am comes, please get it clarified from madam. Okay, other anything, whatever you have, volcano, ash, everything outside this topic, ask ma'am. Okay, or you want to ask all these things, okay, you can ask in Avanti Gurukul app also. Okay, fine. With that, I'm going to end today's class. So thank you so much. Amaya, you can ask it to madam. Okay, so I've already told, sir is already waiting. Okay, and thank you so much. You can write all this, and we'll meet tomorrow. Okay, so let me, as I'm again repeating, let me first complete the topic. You will get all the answers to all the questions. Okay, please wait. Please wait for me. I didn't even complete I just started evaporation today, and you are bombarding with all the questions. Wait, swalpa patience. Wait, I'll complete the topic of evaporation. Then full chapter, whatever doubt you have, you can ask. Okay, cool. So handing it over to Mohit sir. And that's it from my side. Thank you so much. Oh, Mohit sir is not there. So I'm handing it over to Mridul sir. Mridul sir will continue. So thank you so much, sir, for waiting.